Yes, a collective meltdown is a phrase that we use oftentimes in cricket, particularly in the subcontinent when teams perform badly. But does that fully explain the depths to which we're seeing conversation go across the border in Pakistan? Here in our studios, Ayaz Memon, senior journalist. He's covered a number of India-Pakistan rivalries, not just in cricket, but for a number of years now. Venkatesh Prasad, the former India player, joining us, and Murali Kartik, former India player as well. Ayaz, let me start with you first. Like I said, look, if our team performed badly, and we have in the past, and we've had a collective meltdown as well as a country, but somehow the crassness of the comments, what explains that? I mean, how does it even begin to work?
So, I mean, some of it is bizarre, what Sikandar Butt said, you know, the kind of logic that is deployed to explain why India is doing well. It's bizarre, to say the least. And what's happened with Ramiz Raj, I don't know the vintage of that clip, but it's distasteful in the extreme whenever it was said. So, I think the meltdown has largely to do with the failure of their own team. The team has done very badly. It was expected to make it to the semis. It hasn't made it to the semis. But everything in today's day and age gets amplified on social media. So who's saying what, we don't even know from where it's coming. And you try and locate it somewhere and then everybody reacts to it. So I think that the intensity and the sheer magnitude of what we call the meltdown is in today's day and age becomes humongous. When something starts, it goes viral, it triggers off all kinds of reactions.
But Venki, you know, one part of it is of course what Ayaz said, that the team has performed badly and they came in with a huge billing. I think they were number one in the ICC World Rankings when they came into this tournament. So everybody expected them to do well. And the degree to which they performed badly, it's not just the fact that they performed badly, but just how badly they performed. That is something that was a factor, no doubt about it. But does that fully explain the kind of comments? I mean, talking about Sir Viv, you know, a racial abuse against him, Aishwarya Rai. I mean, come on, you don't expect that kind of stuff.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, that shows the culture, as simple as that. That shows how they are thinking about a lot of things. You know, they're not able to match. I mean, match not just the Indian cricket team. They cannot even come close to India in any aspect, in any subject. And you know, some of the comments that we are hearing from cricketers, coming from cricketers, from Pakistan cricketers, I think it's pretty sad. And as they already said, it just shows that they don't have the culture. And if they have to say something about the game, they need to stick to the game. I mean, not bring in personal issues or racial issues and stuff like that. They should be knowing about all these things, and as it is, we have stopped playing any bilateral, you know, with Pakistan, whether in Pakistan or in any of the neutral venues as well.
Correct.
Of course, definitely not in India. And I'm sure the government is going to look at this very seriously, and none of the Pakistani cricketers would be allowed to even come and commentate, be it you know, World Cup or be it IPL or any of those you know, products.
I just outlined the three controversies that were there. There were more as well. I mean, there was this thing about the change of the pitch before the semi-final that ICC somehow overlooked the fact that India asked for a change of pitch. There was this whole controversy around Bakar Yunus asking for the whole change of ball business, that instead of two balls have one. Maybe there is some merit in that. I don't know as a bowler what you feel about that. But some of the theories that were being put forth, it just beggars belief.
The one you're referring to is the one which Hassan Raza alleged, that Indians are getting a different ball. With coming back to what Vakar said, I think I'm with it. The reason why I say that is, in trying to help the bowlers, the two new balls haven't helped anybody. Okay. It's only helping the batters and the kind of scores you're talking about. But the one which Hassan Raza referred to was the fact that ICC are possibly handing out special balls to...
that was bizarre.
Look, and the funniest is half these things are bizarre. And Zaka, one thing which I've realized over the last few years from some of the statements which come from that part of the border is, you get a feeling they're saying this maybe to get eyeballs. You look at the YouTube shows of many people, they just want to rake up some horse shit to get the eyeballs, and that is exactly what I feel. And some of the people who are saying it have some dubious past, so that's the funniest. It's like the pot calling the kettle black, sort of a thing.
If you look at the Abdul Razak clip, for example, I mean, it's bad enough what he said.
Yeah.
There were two other former internationals who were sitting
they were
to
clapping.
to his left and his right, and they were clapping. It was like they were gleefully enjoying what he was saying. So it's not just, individual cases or, okay, this guy is a black sheep. But it's like there are two other guys, and again, former internationals. One of them is a captain, former captain.
Yeah.
Goes on to sort of, applaud and glee and smirk.
Yeah, I haven't seen the clip, but I don't know why he was using the name of somebody as a metaphor for whatever point he wants to make. If he wants to make a point, he makes a point.
Exactly.
There's no need. Because what has happened, I think just take up from what Kartik said. If you watch some of the YouTube shows involving a lot of stellar names, and the main focus seems to be about what's happening in Indian cricket and Indian stars, and their own, of course.
Massively.
But there's so much. I think there is obviously an obsession about Indian cricket because Indian cricket is doing magnificently.
It's a big case of sour grapes. Massive case of sour grapes.
Yeah, and not just in the World Cup. Generally, Indian cricket is, is at its peak right now. So there is interest and there is obsessive interest, and that obsessive interest then leads to all kinds of things happening, and then everybody piling on and trying to make their own. Sometimes they're competing amongst themselves for eyeballs, as he mentioned. And that Sikandar Bug thing, I mean, somebody who's played cricket for a fair number of years.
Hafiz said something about Virat. Mohammad Hafiz said something
about being selfish, right? About
being selfish.
I mean, my point is, okay, I understand. I mean, we're all in the business of media, so I understand the eyeballs argument to an extent. But you don't have to be crass to get the eyeballs. I mean, case in point is this Wasim Akram show. Again, from that same place, very classy show, talking cricket. And they acknowledge, I mean, you give credit where credit needs to be given. So if Bumrah and Shami are bowling like the spells of their lives, a former legend of the game acknowledges it. He can see it, he can recognize it. And again, it's not like that show is having any less eyeballs, right?
I honestly, I'm not very sure. I don't really go through any of these, So, as I said earlier, Zaka, that it's sad that a lot of these sort of comments coming from past cricketers who have played for Pakistan, and I never expected such comments, and it's embarrassing for sure.
But this comparison stuff, I mean, I understand some of it is human psychology. It's the bigger country, bigger economy. You want to be, I mean, let's say Pakistan did well, or let's say even if Pakistan won against India in the league game, maybe these comments wouldn't have come. Maybe the yardstick for measurement would have been different.
I actually feel it would have been even worse then. They would have. I feel there could have been a bit of one-upmanship, saying that look, we have beaten you, sort of a thing, because things coming from certain sectors, and you mentioned India as well. We have not carved ourselves with glory.
Absolutely.
There have been times, and I was saying this yesterday. Lots of knives would have come out if India hadn't beaten New Zealand.
No, but we know, from the T20 World Cup 2021, when toast of the country, Mohammad Shami.
Our own people
got hit,
absolutely,
and he was trolled mercilessly.
How many times in 2007? I didn't say this at the start, but Dhoni's home was torched. At least a part of it was.
There have been other times as well. People have been targeted. The houses have been stoned.
Exactly.
We have not carved ourselves with glory, but I feel that such things coming or emanating from any part is absolutely disgraceful, distasteful, and too below the belt.